smell of gasoline shouldn't be coming from my wife's hair at 2 in the morning. I stood in our bedroom doorway watching Tara sleep. The acrid scent hung in the air like guilt. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand, third time in 10 minutes. She didn't stir. 20 minutes earlier, I'd pulled into our driveway after finishing Mrs. Patterson's kitchen remodel. The house looked normal, dark, peaceful. But something felt wrong the moment I stepped inside. Now I knew why. The phone buzzed again. This time Tara's eyes fluttered open. She saw me standing there and jolted upright, her blonde hair catching the hallway light. "Darren, you're home early." "It's past 2. "That's not early." She glanced at her phone, then quickly turned it face down. "I must have dozed off. Long day at the firm." "With gasoline in your hair?" The color drained from her face. "What?" "You smell like a gas station, Tara." "Why?" She touched her hair self-consciously. I stopped to fill up after work. Must have splashed some on myself." I'd been married to this woman for 8 years. I knew when she was lying, the way her left eye twitched. How she touched her neck when the words came out wrong. "At midnight?" "It was earlier, before dinner." She swung her legs out of bed, moving toward the bathroom. "I'm taking a shower." "Tara." She stopped, her hand on the doorframe. "Where were you tonight?" For a moment, I thought she might tell me the truth. Her shoulders sagged, and she looked like she might cry. Then her phone buzzed again, and whatever honesty was building crumbled. "Working late." "I told you that." She disappeared into the bathroom. The lock clicked. I picked up her phone before the screen went dark. 12 missed calls from B, no last name, just B. The shower started running. I sat on the edge of our bed, staring at the device in my hands. 8 years of marriage, and I'd never snooped through her phone. Never had a reason to. Now I did. The passcode was our anniversary. She'd never changed it. The phone unlocked, and I immediately wished it hadn't. Message after message from B. Going back months. "Can't wait to see you tonight. Tell him you're working late again. This is getting complicated. We need to talk." "It's done. No going back now. The last message was sent an hour ago. Are you okay? Text me back." My hands shook as I scrolled through their conversation. Months of planning, meeting locations, lies she'd told me. But it was the message from 3 days ago that made my blood run cold. "He's getting suspicious. We need to end this before he figures it out." "Don't worry, after tonight, none of this will matter." "You sure about this plan?" "Trust me. It'll look like an accident." The phone slipped from my hands and clattered to the floor. The shower was still running. I could hear Tara humming, actually humming, while she washed the gasoline from her hair. I picked up the phone and took screenshots of everything, sent them to my own phone, deleted the sent messages from her phone, put it back exactly where I found it. Then I went downstairs and checked every room in our house. In the basement, I found it. A red gas can, still wet inside, hidden behind the water heater where I'd never normally look. The smell was overwhelming down there. Gas fumes mixed with something else, something chemical. I'd been a contractor for 15 years. I knew what accelerant smelled like. I also knew what it meant. Back upstairs, I sat at our kitchen table and tried to process what I'd discovered. My wife, the woman I'd worked 2 jobs to put through paralegal school, who I'd surprised with a trip to Hawaii for our anniversary last month, was planning to burn down our house, with me in it. The shower stopped. I heard her moving around upstairs, getting ready for bed like nothing was wrong, like she hadn't just returned from dousing our home in gasoline. I thought about calling the police, but what would I tell them? That I found gas in the basement and suspicious text messages? They'd ask for evidence. They'd want to investigate. And Tara would know I'd been through her phone. No, I needed to think this through. Figure out who B was. Understand why she wanted to destroy everything we'd built together. I went to my laptop and opened Facebook. Searched through Tara's friends for anyone with a first name starting with B. Found 3 possibilities. Beth from her book club, Brian from high school, and Brent Lasker. Brent Lasker. I'd heard that name before. Tara had mentioned him a few times recently. Her boss's cousin. Some kind of thrill seeker who'd moved to town last year. I clicked on his profile. Divorced. Owned a motorcycle repair shop. Posted constantly about extreme sports and living life to the fullest. The kind of guy who'd think burning down a house was an adventure. The kind of guy my wife apparently found more exciting than me. I scrolled through his recent posts. Photos of him rock climbing, skydiving, racing motorcycles. In one picture from last week, he was standing next to a red motorcycle, holding a beer and grinning at the camera. Behind him, barely visible in the background, was a woman with blonde hair, my wife. I enlarged the photo, no doubt about it. Tara was there, trying to stay out of frame but not quite succeeding. She was wearing the blue dress I'd bought her for her birthday, the dress she'd claimed to have spilled wine on and thrown away. I heard her coming down the stairs. I quickly closed the laptop and pretended to be checking my phone. "Darren, what are you doing up?" "Couldn't sleep? Thought I'd check tomorrow's weather." She padded into the kitchen wearing her favorite pajamas, the ones with little flowers that made her look innocent. "Rain's supposed to start around noon. You might want to finish the Peterson job before then." "Yeah, I'll get an early start." She moved behind me and put her hands on my shoulders. I fought the urge to pull away. "I'm sorry I was so tired when you got home." "Work's been crazy lately." "I know. We should do something fun this weekend. Maybe drive up to the lake?" I turned to look at her. She was smiling, but her eyes looked worried. Guilty. "That sounds nice." "Good." She kissed the top of my head. "I'm going to bed. Don't stay up too late." "I won't." She started to leave, then paused. "Darren? Yeah? I love you." 3 words that used to mean everything. Now they felt like a shovel full of dirt on my grave. "I love you too." She went upstairs. I waited until I heard our bedroom door close, then opened my laptop again. I spent the next 2 hours researching Brent Lasker, found his business address, his apartment, his social media accounts. Learned everything I could about the man who was helping my wife plan my homicide. By the time I finally went to bed, I had a plan of my own. I wasn't going to die in a house fire. But my marriage sure as hell was. I woke up at 5 a.m. to the sound of sirens. For a moment, I thought they were coming for our house, that Tara had decided not to wait, but the sound grew fainter, heading toward downtown. Tara was still asleep beside me, her phone dark on the nightstand. I slipped out of bed and got dressed for work. In the kitchen, I made coffee and toast, going through the motions of a normal morning. But nothing about this morning was normal. At 6:30, Tara came downstairs in her robe. She looked tired, stressed. She poured herself coffee and sat across from me at the table. "Sleep okay?" I asked. "Not really, bad dreams." "About what?" She hesitated. I don't remember. Just bad." I wanted to ask her about the gasoline, about Brent, about the text messages planning my passing. Instead, I buttered my toast and acted like everything was fine. "I'll be at the Peterson job all day, probably won't be home until 7. "Okay. I've got a late client meeting, so I might not be here when you get back." Another lie. I was starting to recognize the pattern. "No problem. I'll probably grab dinner on the way home." She nodded, not making eye contact. My phone buzzed. "Text for my foreman, Jake. Peterson job canceled. Pipe burst in their basement. Free day." I showed Tara the message. "Looks like I'm off today after all." The color drained from her face. "Oh, that's great. Maybe we can spend some time together." "Maybe. I might use the time to organize the basement. It's been a mess down there." She nearly choked on her coffee. "The basement?" "Yeah. Been meaning to clean it out for months." "I could help." "That's okay. I know where everything goes." She stood up quickly. "Actually, I just remembered. I do have to go in today. Emergency filing deadline." "On Saturday?" "Yeah, court stuff." You know how it is." I didn't know how it was. I'd never worked in a law office, but I was learning how lies worked. "Sure, I'll see you tonight then." She kissed my cheek and hurried upstairs. 20 minutes later, she was dressed and heading for the door. "Bye, honey. Love you." "Love you too." The door closed. I watched through the window as she backed out of the driveway, her phone already pressed to her ear. I waited 5 minutes, then went to the basement. The gas can was gone. So was the smell. She'd cleaned up, erased the evidence. But I had the photos on my phone, screenshots of their text messages, proof of what she'd planned. I just needed to figure out when she planned to do it. I called my neighbor Victor. He'd been a firefighter for 30 years before retiring. If anyone could help me understand arson, it was him. "Darren, everything okay?" "Yeah, just curious about something." "You got a minute?" "Always got time for you, kid. Come on over." Victor lived 3 houses down. His wife had died 5 years ago, and he'd taken me under his wing like the son he'd never had. He was watering his garden when I walked up. Coffee? Sure. We sat on his back porch looking out at the trees behind his house. The autumn leaves were just starting to turn. What's on your mind? I'd rehearsed this conversation. Remember the Henderson fire last month? The one where they found accelerant? Victor nodded grimly. Nasty business. Insurance fraud, most likely. Why? Just wondering how they figure that stuff out. What investigators look for. Burn patterns, mostly. Accelerant burns different than normal fires. Hotter, faster, creates distinctive char patterns. He sipped his coffee. Also depends on what kind of accelerant. Gasoline's amateur hour. Leaves too much evidence. What would a professional use? Depends on the goal. If someone wanted to make it look accidental, they'd use something that burns clean. Lighter fluid, alcohol. Something that wouldn't leave residue. But gasoline would. Oh yeah, fire investigator would spot that in 10 minutes. Plus, gasoline's got a distinctive smell. Hard to hide. I thought about the gas can in my basement. About Tara's hair smelling like a station. What if someone wanted to burn down a house with someone inside? How would they do it? Victor gave me a sharp look. That's a hell of a question, Darren. Just curious. All these true crime shows, you know. He relaxed a little. Well, they'd want to make sure the sufferer couldn't escape. Block the exits. Start the fire in multiple places. Make it spread fast. How fast? With gasoline? Whole house could be engulfed in minutes. Especially an older house like yours. My house. Built in 1962. Wood frame construction. Probably go up like a matchbox. Of course, most people don't realize how hard it is to burn someone alive, Victor continued. Smoke gets them first. Carbon monoxide poisoning. They're unconscious before the flames reach them. Is that better or worse? Better. Much better. Fire's a terrible way to die. We sat in silence for a while. I was thinking about Tara's plan, about how she'd intended to homicide me and make it look like an accident, about how she'd been planning this for months while kissing me goodnight and telling me she loved me. Darren? Yeah. You okay? You seem distracted. Just tired. Long week. How's Tara? She's good. Working a lot lately. That's good. Important to stay busy. I finished my coffee and stood up. Thanks for this, Victor. Really helpful. Anytime, kid. You know where to find me. I walked home thinking about what he'd said, about burn patterns and accelerants, about how fast a house could burn, about how I was going to use that information to destroy my wife's life. Tara came home at 8:30 that night. She seemed nervous, jumpy, kept checking her phone. How was work? I asked. Fine. Boring. Just paperwork. Must have been important paperwork to keep you there all day. Yeah. Court deadline Monday. We ate dinner in relative silence. I watched her push food around her plate, barely eating. Her phone buzzed constantly. She ignored it. After dinner, she went upstairs to shower. I followed her and stood in the doorway. Everything okay? You seem tense. Just tired. Long day. Maybe we should take that trip to the lake. Get away for a weekend. She looked at me in the mirror. That sounds nice. Maybe in a few weeks? Why not next weekend? I might have to work. It's October, Tara. What's so urgent it can't wait? You wouldn't understand. It's legal stuff. Try me. She turned off the water and reached for a towel. Can we talk about this later? I have a headache. Sure. I went back downstairs and called my brother Mike in Boston. We talked for an hour about nothing. Sports, work, our parents. Normal conversation. The kind I used to have with my wife. When I hung up, Tara was sitting on the couch, staring at her phone. Everything okay? Yeah? Just checking messages. From who? Work. Clients. You know. It's almost 10 p.m. on a Saturday. What clients are texting you this late? She looked up at me, and for a moment I saw something in her eyes. Fear? Guilt? Then it was gone. You're right, I should turn it off. She powered down her phone and set it on the coffee table. There. Happy? I'd be happier if you told me what's really going on. Nothing's going on, Darren. I'm just stressed about work. Is that why you smell like gasoline? The question hung between us like a loaded tool. Tara went completely still. What? Last night. This morning. You smell like gas. I told you, I filled up the car. Show me the receipt. What? If you bought gas yesterday, show me the receipt. She stared at me for a long moment. I don't keep gas receipts. You keep every receipt, Tara. You've got a shoebox full of them upstairs. I don't know what you want me to say. I want you to tell me the truth. She stood up, her face flushed. The truth about what? You're acting paranoid, Darren. I bought gas. I don't have a receipt. End of story. What about Brent? She froze. What about him? You've been texting him a lot. He's my boss's cousin. We work together sometimes. At 10 p.m. on a Saturday? I don't have to explain every conversation to you. Yeah, you do. You're my wife. She laughed, but it sounded hollow. Your wife? Right. Your wife who works all day while you play with power tools? Excuse me? You heard me. I'm tired of this, Darren. Tired of pretending everything's fine when it's not. What's not fine? Us. This boring, predictable life you've built for us? The words hit me like a physical blow. Boring? Yes, boring. You come home, we eat dinner, we watch TV, we go to bed every day. For 8 years. I thought that's what you wanted. Stability. I wanted a life, not a routine. So you decided to have an affair? The accusation hung between us. Tara's face went white. I'm not having an affair. Then what do you call it? I call it none of your business. It's my business when you're planning to burn down our house. She took a step back. What are you talking about? The gas can in the basement, the text messages, the plan to make it look like an accident. For a moment, she looked like she might confess. Then her expression hardened. You're crazy. Am I? Show me your phone. No. Show me your phone, Tara. I don't have to show you anything. Then I'll show you mine. I pulled out my phone and opened the screenshots I'd taken. The messages between her and Brent, the planning, the timeline. Her face crumpled. Darren, I can explain. Explain what? How you were going to homicide me? It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Like what? You weren't supposed to get caught? I wasn't supposed to fall in love with him. The words hit me harder than I expected. Not the affair. I'd already processed that. But the love. She loved him. How long? 6 months. And the fire. That was his idea. He said it would solve everything. By eliminating me. By giving us a fresh start. The insurance money? We could go anywhere. After I was dead? You weren't supposed to be home that night. You were supposed to be at your mother's. I stared at her. You planned this around my mother's birthday dinner? We thought you'd stay the night. You always do. So, you were going to burn down our house while I was gone? Yes, no. I don't know. She was crying now. It got complicated. Complicated how? You changed your mind about staying, came home early. Brent panicked. So he decided to eliminate me instead? He thought you'd figure it out, that you'd ruin everything. I did figure it out. I know. I'm sorry. You're sorry. I never wanted anyone to get hurt. You wanted me dead, Tara. No, I wanted a different life. Brent said this was the only way. And you believed him? I love him. Those 3 words destroyed me more than the betrayal. More than the homicide plot. She loved him. After 8 years of marriage, she loved someone else enough to eliminate for him. Get out. Darren, please, let me explain. Get out of my house. This is my house too. Not anymore. Get out. She grabbed her purse and keys. At the door, she turned back. I never meant for this to happen. Yeah, you did. You just didn't mean to get caught. She left. I locked the door behind her and went upstairs. Our bedroom felt different now, empty. I stripped the bed and threw the sheets in the washer. Took a shower. Tried to scrub away the feeling of her betrayal. But it wouldn't wash off. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, thinking about what came next. I could call the police. Press charges. But what good would that do? She'd claim it was all Brent's idea, that she was manipulated. A good lawyer could probably get her off with probation. No, I needed something better than the legal system. I needed justice. Monday morning, I called in sick to work. Spent the day driving around town, learning Brent's routine. His motorcycle shop opened at 9. He took lunch at noon, closed at 6. He lived in an apartment above a diner on Main Street. Drove a red pickup truck when he wasn't on his bike. Worked out at the gym on Elm Street 3 times a week. I followed him for 3 days, learned his patterns, his weaknesses. On Thursday, I made my move. I waited in the parking lot of his gym. He came out at 7:30, sweaty and tired. I was leaning against his truck when he approached. "You're Darren Cole." "That's right. Tara's husband, ex-husband. Papers are being filed Monday." He relaxed slightly. "Look, man, I'm sorry how this all went down. It wasn't supposed to happen like this." "How was it supposed to happen?" "We were going to wait until after the divorce, make it clean. With the insurance money from my house." His expression changed. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Sure you do. Gas can in the basement, text messages about making it look like an accident. Ring any bells?" "That was never serious. We were just talking. About eliminating me. About starting fresh. Look, I get that you're pissed. I'd be pissed too. But this doesn't have to get ugly. It's already ugly, Brent. You tried to eliminate me." "I never tried to eliminate anyone." "Then what was the accelerant for?" "What accelerant?" I pulled out my phone and showed him the screenshots. His face went pale. "Where did you get these?" "Tara's phone." "Interesting reading. You can't use those. That's invasion of privacy. I can use them in divorce court. I can use them to file attempted homicide charges. I can use them to destroy both your lives." He took a step back. "What do you want?" "I want you to stay away from my wife. Ex-wife. I want you to leave town. I'm not going anywhere. Then you're going to prison. Those messages don't prove anything. They prove intent. Combined with the gas can, the pattern of deception, the timing, a jury would convict you in an hour. You don't have the gas can. I have photos, residue samples, witness testimony." "What witnesses?" "Me. I smelled the gasoline. I found the evidence. I documented everything." He was sweating now and not from the workout. "Look, let's be reasonable. What's it going to take to make this go away?" "I already told you. Leave town. Never contact Tara again." "I can't do that." "Why not?" "Because I love her." "You love her enough to eliminate for her." "I love her enough to fight for her." "Then let's fight." I wasn't a violent man, never had been. But 8 years of marriage, of trust, of planning a future together, all of that was worth fighting for. The parking lot was empty. No witnesses, no cameras, just two men and a betrayal that needed settling. "I don't want to fight you, Darren. I don't care what you want. I'd been lifting weights since high school. Construction work kept me strong. Brent was lean, athletic, but soft. He'd never been in a real fight. I punched him once, hard, in the solar plexus. He doubled over, gasping. I grabbed him by the shirt and slammed him against his truck. You tried to eliminate me. I never... I punched him again, in the face this time. His nose crunched. You conspired with my wife to burn down my house. It wasn't like that. With me inside. You weren't supposed to be there. But I was there, and you were going to let me die. I punched him a third time. He went down hard, red liquid streaming from his nose. Stay away from Tara. Stay away from me. If I see you again, I'll finish this. I left him lying in the parking lot and drove home. My knuckles were in red liquid. My heart was racing. But for the first time in days, I felt like myself again, like I was worth fighting for. Tara was waiting in my kitchen when I got home. She'd used her key. She was sitting at the table looking small and scared. Your key. What? Give me your key. You don't live here anymore. She slid it across the table. Brent called me. He said you attacked him. I defended myself. He's in the hospital. Good. Darren, this has to stop. I agree. Pack your things and leave. I mean the violence, the threats. We can work this out. No, we can't. I love you. You love him. I love both of you. That's not how love works, Tara. She started crying. I made a mistake. I know that. But we can fix this. You tried to eliminate me? I would never hurt you. You planned to burn down our house with me inside. That was Brent's idea. And you went along with it. I was confused. I thought I wanted something different. You wanted me dead. I wanted out. I wanted a new life. I thought this was the only way. There's always divorce. I didn't want to hurt you. So you decided to homicide me instead? I didn't think it through. I was in love. I wasn't thinking clearly. You thought clearly enough to buy gasoline, to plan the timing, to make sure I'd be home. I changed my mind. At the last minute, I couldn't go through with it. Because you got caught. Because I realized I still loved you. Prove it. How? Testify against Brent. Tell the police it was his idea. I can't do that. Why not? Because I love him too. Then we're done. I walked to the door and held it open. Get out. Darren, please. Get out of my house. Don't come back. She gathered her purse and coat. At the door, she stopped. I'm sorry. No, you're not. You're sorry you got caught. I'm sorry I hurt you. If you were really sorry, you'd help me put him in prison. I can't? Then you're not sorry. You're just scared. She left. I locked the door behind her and went upstairs. In our bedroom, my bedroom now, I found a note on the dresser. I know you'll never forgive me, but I need you to know that I loved you. I still love you. I just loved the idea of someone else more. I'm sorry for everything. I crumpled up the note and threw it away. Then I called my lawyer. Jim, it's Darren Cole. I need to file for divorce, and I need to press charges for attempted homicide. Attempted homicide? Jesus, Darren, what happened? My wife tried to burn down our house with me inside. Do you have evidence? I have everything. Come in tomorrow morning, bring everything you've got. I will. I hung up and went to bed. For the first time in weeks, I slept soundly. Tomorrow, I'd start the process of getting my life back. But first, I had one more thing to do. I called Victor the next morning. I need a favor. Name it. I need you to inspect my house. Looking for signs of attempted arson. Christ, Darren, what's going on? Tara tried to burn it down last weekend. I need an official report. I'm retired. I can't file an official report. But you can document what you find. Take photos. Write up your observations. That I can do. When? This morning? I'll be right over. Victor arrived 20 minutes later with his old investigation kit. He spent 2 hours going through my house, taking photos, collecting samples. You were right, he said finally. Someone prepped this place to burn. Accelerant residue in the basement, rags soaked in gasoline behind the water heater. They even loosened the gas line to the dryer. How much damage would it have caused? If they'd lit it, whole house would have been gone in minutes. Anyone inside would have died. Can you document all of this? Already did. I'll type up a report tonight. Send it to you tomorrow. Thanks, Victor. I owe you. No, you don't. Nobody should have to go through this. He left. I spent the rest of the day cleaning up evidence of Tara's betrayal. Threw out her clothes, her books, her photos. By evening, the house felt like mine again. The next morning, I met with my lawyer. Jim Patterson was an old friend of my father's. He'd handled my parents' wills, helped me buy the house. This is serious, Darren. Conspiracy to commit arson, attempted homicide, insurance fraud. She's looking at 20 years. Good. And the boyfriend? Brent Lasker. He's the one who planned it. Do you have evidence against him? Text messages. Victor's report, his own confession. He confessed to me. In the gym parking lot. That's not admissible in court. No, but it's enough to get the police interested. What about the attack charge? What attack charge? He's claiming you attacked him. Filed a complaint yesterday. Self-defense. Hard to prove without witnesses. I'll deal with it. Darren, you need to be careful. This guy sounds dangerous. He tried to eliminate me, Jim. I'm past being careful. I understand. But if you do anything stupid, you'll end up in prison instead of him. I'm not going to do anything stupid. Good. Let the system handle this. The system let my wife plan my homicide for 6 months. The system will put her in prison for it. Maybe. Or maybe she'll get a good lawyer and claim she was coerced. You have evidence. I have text messages and gasoline residue. She has tears and a good story about being manipulated by an older man. Trust me, Darren. We'll get them both. I hope so. But as I left his office, I knew I couldn't trust the system. I'd have to handle this myself. I started by documenting everything. Every lie Tara had told me. Every suspicious behavior. Every connection to Brent. I created a timeline, cross-referenced with phone records and credit card statements. What I found made me sick. The affair had started 8 months ago, right after Brent moved to town. They'd been meeting at motels, at his apartment, even in our house while I was at work. The homicide plot started 3 months later. Initially, they'd planned to wait until I was out of town, make it look like an electrical fire. But as their relationship intensified, they got impatient and sloppy. The gasoline was Brent's idea. He'd convinced Tara that a fast-burning fire would be easier to cover up, that investigators would assume it was an accident. They'd picked last Friday night because I was supposed to be at my mother's birthday dinner. Tara had even encouraged me to stay overnight. "You hardly ever see her," she'd said. "Make a weekend of it." But I'd come home instead. Walked into their trap. If I'd been sleeping, I would have died. Carbon monoxide poisoning first, then the flames. They'd have collected the insurance money and started a new life somewhere else, over my dead body. I called the police detective handling the case. Detective Sarah Miles was thorough, professional. She listened to my story, reviewed the evidence, promised to investigate. "We'll pick up Brent Lasker tomorrow morning," she said. "Bring him in for questioning." "What about Tara?" "We'll bring her in too. But Mr. Cole, I need you to understand something. This is going to be hard to prove. Most of the evidence is circumstantial." "What about the text messages?" "Good start. But defense attorneys are good at explaining away text messages. The gasoline residue? Better, but they'll claim it was for something else. Lawn equipment, car maintenance. What about motive? Infidelity isn't a crime. An insurance fraud is hard to prove without more evidence. So they get away with it? I didn't say that. I said it's going to be hard to prove. We'll do our best. Your best might not be enough. Then you'll have to trust the system, Mr. Cole. The system failed me once already. I hung up and sat in my kitchen, staring at the wall where Tara's wedding photo used to hang. I'd thrown it away yesterday, but I could still see the outline where it had been. 8 years of marriage. Gone. My phone rang. Unknown number. "Hello?" "We need to talk." Brent's voice was thick, nasal. I'd broken his nose good. "We have nothing to talk about. The police are coming for me tomorrow." "Good." "If I go down, Tara goes down with me." "She should." "You really want to destroy her life?" "She tried to destroy mine. She made a mistake. She tried to homicide." That was my idea, and she went along with it. Because she loves me. Then you can love each other in prison. Or we can make a deal. What kind of deal? I leave town. Forever. You drop the charges. No. Think about it, Darren. Is revenge really worth destroying the woman you loved? The woman I loved wouldn't have tried to eliminate me. She's not a butcher. She's just confused. She bought the gasoline. I made her do it. Nobody made her do anything. She's a grown woman who made her own choices. Choices she regrets. Not enough to testify against you. She's protecting me. She's protecting herself. Give me 24 hours. Let me talk to her. Talk to her about what? About doing the right thing? The right thing would have been not trying to homicide me. The right thing now, testifying against me, taking responsibility. And if she doesn't, then we both go down. But if she does, I'll plead guilty, take full responsibility. She gets probation, I get prison. Why would you do that? Because I love her. You have a funny way of showing it. I made a mistake, a big one. But I'm not going to let her pay for it. The line went dead. I sat there for a long time thinking about his offer. Part of me wanted to see them both burn. But another part, the part that had loved Tara for 8 years, wanted to give her a chance to do the right thing. I decided to wait. The next morning, Detective Miles called. "We picked up Brent Lasker. He's asking for a lawyer." "What about Tara?" "She's coming in this afternoon, voluntarily." "That's something." "Mr. Cole, I need to ask you something. Did you attack Mr. Lasker?" "He attacked me in the gym parking lot." "I defended myself. He's claiming you threatened to eliminate him." "I threatened to finish the fight if he didn't stay away from my wife." That could be interpreted as a death threat. It could be interpreted as self-defense. Just be careful. His lawyer is looking for any excuse to turn this around on you. Understood. I hung up and went to work. Had to keep busy, keep my mind occupied. Spent the day installing cabinets in Mrs. Patterson's kitchen, focusing on measurements and angles instead of betrayal and revenge. At 3 o'clock, my phone buzzed. Text from Tara. I told them everything. I'm sorry. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I deleted it. Detective Miles called an hour later. Your wife gave a full confession. Brent Lasker's been charged with conspiracy to commit arson and attempted homicide. She's been charged as an accessory. What's she looking at? 5 to 10? Maybe less with cooperation. And him? 20 to life. Good. Mr. Cole, there's something else. Your wife wants to see you. I don't want to see her. She says she has something important to tell you. Something about Brent. What about him? I can't say over the phone, but it might be relevant to your case. I thought about it. Part of me never wanted to see Tara again. But if she had information that could put Brent away for good, I owed it to myself to hear it. Where? Police station, conference room, I'll be there. When? Now if you're available. I'll be right there. Tara looked terrible. Dark circles under her eyes, hair unwashed, wearing the same clothes from 2 days ago. She'd been crying. Thank you for coming, she said. Detective Miles said you had information about Brent. I do. She looked at her hands. He's done this before. Done what before? Burned down houses for insurance money? Detective Miles leaned forward. Explain. In Colorado, before he moved here, he had a partner, another woman. They burned down her house, collected the insurance, disappeared. How do you know this? He told me. He said it was easy money. That insurance companies don't investigate small fires very carefully? What happened to the woman? She died. The room went silent. Died how? I asked. She was supposed to be out of town when they set the fire. Like I was supposed to be. But she came home early, just like I did. Yes. And Brent didn't stop the plan? He said it was too late, that she'd already seen too much. So he eliminated her. The fire eliminated her, but he didn't try to save her. Jesus Christ. Detective Miles was taking notes furiously. Do you have any proof of this? He showed me newspaper clippings, said it was proof that the plan worked. Where are the clippings? In his apartment. Hidden behind the bathroom mirror. Why are you telling us this now? Tara looked at me. Because I realized what kind of man he is. What kind of man I fell in love with. A butcher? Yes. And you were willing to help him homicide me. I didn't know about Colorado. I thought it was just insurance fraud. Just insurance fraud. I know how that sounds. But I swear I didn't know he'd eliminated someone. Would it have mattered? She was quiet for a long time. I don't know. I was so caught up in the excitement, the romance. I wasn't thinking clearly. You were thinking clearly enough to buy gasoline. I was thinking about a new life, with him. I wasn't thinking about you dying, but you knew that was a possibility. I thought you'd be safe. At your mother's? What if I'd come home anyway? What if I'd walked into a burning house? I would have stopped it. Like he stopped it in Colorado? She started crying again. I don't know. I want to say yes, but I don't know. At least you're honest. Detective Miles cleared her throat. Mrs. Cole, are you willing to testify about what Brent told you? About Colorado? Yes. Even though it means admitting your own involvement? Yes. Why? Tara looked at me again. Because I owe him that much. After everything I've done, I owe him the truth. I don't want your guilt, Tara. I know, but it's all I have left to give you. The Colorado connection changed everything. Within 48 hours, Detective Miles had contacted authorities in Denver. They reopened the case of Sarah Martinez, 29, who died in a house fire 18 months ago. The similarities were striking. Older house, accelerant used, sufferer supposed to be out of town. The only difference was that Sarah Martinez didn't have a husband to discover the plot. She died alone. Brent was extradited to Colorado to face homicide charges. His lawyer tried to work a deal, cooperation in exchange for a reduced sentence. But the evidence was too strong. Text messages between Brent and Sarah planning the fire. Bank records showing insurance payouts. And most damning, the newspaper clippings in his apartment, just where Tara said they'd be. Brent got life without parole. Tara got 3 years, suspended to 18 months with probation. The judge said her cooperation and remorse were mitigating factors. I didn't attend her sentencing. 6 months later, I was finishing up a bathroom remodel when my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Darren? It's me. Tara's voice. I hadn't heard it since that day at the police station. What do you want? I'm getting out next week. I wanted to talk to you. We have nothing to talk about. I know you hate me. I understand that. But I need you to know something. What? I've been thinking about what you asked me in the police station, about whether I would have stopped it if you'd come home. And I would have. I know you don't believe me, but I would have. It doesn't matter now. It matters to me. Why? Because I need to know that I'm not like him, that I'm not a butcher. You're not a butcher, Tara. You're just someone who makes bad choices. Can you forgive me? No. Will you ever? I don't know, probably not. I understand. Where will you go? My sister's place in Ohio. Start over. Good luck. Darren? Yeah? I did love you. I know that doesn't mean anything now, but I did. I know. I'm sorry. For everything. I know that too. The line went dead. I finished installing the toilet and went home. A year later, I was at Victor's house, helping him clean out his garage, when he asked the question I'd been dreading. You ever think about dating again? Not really. It's been 2 years, Darren. You're allowed to move on. I know. But you're not ready. Would you be, if someone you trusted tried to eliminate you? Fair point. We worked in silence for a while, sorting through boxes of old firefighting equipment. You know what the hardest part is? I said finally. What? I still love her. After everything she did, part of me still loves who she used to be. That's normal. Is it? Love doesn't just disappear because someone betrays you. It gets complicated, twisted up with hurt and anger, but it doesn't disappear. How do I get past it? Time, therapy, maybe meeting someone else? I'm not ready for someone else. Then you wait until you are. What if I'm never ready? Then you learn to be alone. Some people do. Is that enough? It has to be. Because the alternative is letting her betrayal define the rest of your life. We went back to work. Later, driving home, I thought about what Victor had said, about letting Tara's betrayal define my life. She'd already taken my marriage, my trust, my sense of safety. I wasn't going to let her take my future too. I sold the house 6 months later. Too many memories, too much history. Bought a small place across town, closer to work. Started fresh. Business was good. Word had gotten around about what happened with Tara, and people felt sorry for me. I got more jobs than I could handle. Hired 2 employees, bought a new truck. My lawyer called one day with news. Tara's asking for her half of the house proceed. She's entitled to it. Actually, she's not. The attempted arson voids her claim under state law. What does that mean? It means the house was yours. All of it. She gets nothing. How much are we talking about? After the sale and legal fees? About $40,000. Send her 10. Darren, you don't owe her anything. I know. Send her 10 anyway. Why? Because I'm not like her. What do you want me to tell her? Tell her it's for therapy. She's going to need it. 2 years later, I was at the hardware store when I ran into Detective Miles. Darren, how are you? Good. You? Can't complain. Hey, I thought you'd want to know. Brent Lasker was eliminated in prison last week. I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no relief, just emptiness. How? Another inmate. Apparently, child butchers and people who burn houses with families inside aren't popular in maximum security. Justice, I guess. You okay? Yeah, it's just, I spent so much energy hating him. Now he's dead and I don't feel anything. That's normal. Revenge never feels as good as people think it will. No, it doesn't. What about Tara? You ever hear from her? Christmas card last year. She's working at a veterinary clinic in Ohio. Seems to be doing okay. You ever write back? No. Think you ever will? I don't know. Maybe. For what it's worth, I think she really was sorry. Being sorry doesn't undo what you did. No, but it's a start. I left the hardware store thinking about second chances, about forgiveness, about whether either of us deserved it. That night I sat down and wrote Tara a letter. Not a long one, just a few lines. I got your Christmas card. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing well too. Built a new life. Found some peace. I wanted you to know that I don't hate you anymore. I don't love you either, but I don't hate you. Maybe that's progress. Take care of yourself. D. I sealed it, addressed it, put a stamp on it. Then, I sat there for an hour, holding it. Finally, I threw it away. Some things were better left unsaid. 5 years after the fire, I was finishing up a kitchen renovation when the homeowner, Mrs. Chen, offered me coffee. "You've done beautiful work," she said. "My husband and I are very pleased." "Thank you. Do you mind me asking you something personal?" "Depends on the question. Are you married? Divorced?" "I'm sorry, that must have been difficult." "It was? My daughter just moved back to town. She's a teacher, very nice girl." "Mrs. Chen, I'm not asking you to marry her, just maybe have coffee sometime." I thought about it. It had been 5 years. Maybe Victor was right. Maybe it was time to try again. "What's her name?" "Lisa. Lisa Chen. She teaches 3rd grade at Riverside Elementary." "I'll think about it." "She likes to go to the bookstore on Saturday mornings. Greenwood Books. Just in case you're ever in the neighborhood." Saturday morning found me at Greenwood Books, pretending to browse the home improvement section while watching for a woman who might be Lisa Chen. I spotted her at the fiction table. Tall, dark hair, reading glasses. She was holding a book about World War II, completely absorbed. I walked over, picked up a book on plumbing, and waited. "Excuse me," I said finally. "Are you Lisa Chen?" She looked up, startled. "Yes." "Do I know you?" "Your mother hired me to renovate your kitchen. I'm Darren." "Oh, the contractor. Mom said you did beautiful work." "Thank you. She also said you might like to have coffee sometime." She smiled. "Did she? How like her. I know it's forward. You don't know anything about me. I know you're a good contractor, and my mother likes you. That's a start. There's more you should know." "Such as?" "I'm divorced. It was complicated. Most divorces are. This one was more complicated than most. Do you want to tell me about it over coffee?" I looked at her. Really looked at her. She had kind eyes, patient eyes. The kind of eyes that had seen children through their worst days and still believed in happy endings. "Yeah," I said, "I think I do." We went to the coffee shop across the street. I told her everything, the affair, the arson plot, the trial, all of it. She listened without judgment, asking questions only to clarify details. "That's quite a story," she said when I finished. "It is. Do you still love her?" "I still love who she used to be. But that person doesn't exist anymore." "Are you ready to love someone new?" "I think so. I'd like to try." "Then let's start with coffee and see where it goes." "Just coffee?" "Just coffee. For now." 6 months later, Lisa and I were dating seriously. She was everything Tara hadn't been. Honest, loyal, dependable. She knew about my past and accepted it, didn't try to fix me or change me. One evening, we were having dinner at my house when she asked the question I'd been expecting. "Have you forgiven her, Tara?" "Yes." "I don't know. I don't hate her anymore. Is that the same thing?" "I don't think so. Forgiveness is more active than that." "What do you mean?" "It means choosing to let go of the anger, choosing to wish someone well, even if they hurt you." "I'm not there yet." "That's okay. You might never be." "Does that bother you?" "No. I think it makes you human." "What would you do? In my situation?" "I don't know. I've never been betrayed like that." "Hypothetically." "Hypothetically, I think I'd want to forgive her. Not for her sake, but for mine." "Why?" "Because carrying that much anger is exhausting. And because forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's about freeing yourself. Maybe. You don't have to decide today, or tomorrow, or ever. But maybe keep the door open." "To what?" "To the possibility that someday you might want to let it go." A year later, I was at the gym when I got a call from an unknown Ohio number. "Hello? Darren? It's Tara." My first instinct was to hang up. But something in her voice stopped me. "What's wrong?" "My mother died last week. I wanted you to know. I'm sorry for your loss." "Thank you. I know you liked her." "I did." "The funeral is tomorrow. I don't expect you to come, but I wanted to invite you." "Tara, I know. I know it's asking too much, but she always asked about you. Right up until the end." What did you tell her? That you were a good man who deserved better than me. You didn't have to say that. It's true. We sat in silence for a moment. I can't come to the funeral, I said finally. I understand. But I'll send flowers. Thank you. Tara. Yes? I'm seeing someone. We're talking about getting married. That's wonderful. I'm happy for you. Are you? Yes? You deserve to be happy. So do you. I'm working on it. Good. Darren? Yeah? I know you'll probably never forgive me, but I need you to know that I forgive you. For what? For hating me, for wanting revenge. For everything you did after you found out. I never asked for your forgiveness. I know. I'm giving it anyway. Why? Because I love you, still. And because forgiveness is the only gift I have left to give. The line went dead. I sat in my car for a long time thinking about what she'd said. That night, I told Lisa about the call. How do you feel? She asked. Confused, angry, sad, all at the same time. Do you want to forgive her? Part of me does. Part of me thinks she deserves to suffer forever. What does your heart tell you? That I'm tired of carrying this around? Then maybe it's time to put it down. How? However, feels right to you. I thought about it for weeks. Finally, I sat down and wrote another letter. Tara, I'm sorry about your mother. She was a good woman who didn't deserve to lose her daughter to prison. You said you forgive me. I don't think I need your forgiveness, but I accept it anyway. I've been thinking about whether I can forgive you, whether I want to. I can't forget what you did. I can't pretend it didn't happen. I can't go back to who I was before. But I can stop letting it define me, so yes, I forgive you. Not because you deserve it, but because I deserve to be free of it. I hope you find peace. I hope you find happiness. I hope you become the person you were supposed to be before you met Brent. This is goodbye. For real this time. Be well. But Darren. I mailed it the next day. 2 weeks later, I got a reply. Thank you. That was all. Just 2 words. It was enough. Lisa and I married the following spring. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. Victor walked me down the aisle since my father had passed years earlier. At the reception, Victor raised his glass for a toast. To Darren and Lisa, may your marriage be built on a foundation of truth, trust, and forgiveness. May you always remember that love is a choice you make every day, not just a feeling you fall into. Everyone drank. Lisa squeezed my hand. Good advice, she whispered. The best. Later, as we danced to our wedding song, Lisa asked me one more question. Any regrets? About what? About forgiving her. About moving on. I thought about it. About the man I'd been before Tara's betrayal. About the man I'd become because of it. About the man I was now, holding my new wife in my arms. No regrets, I said. Good. What about you? Any regrets about marrying a man with so much baggage? Your baggage made you who you are. I love who you are. Even the broken parts, especially the broken parts, they're what make you real. We danced until late, surrounded by people who loved us, people who knew our story and chose to celebrate anyway. As we left the reception, Victor pulled me aside. Proud of you, son. For what? For not letting her betrayal turn you into someone you're not. I came close, but you didn't. That's what matters. Thanks, Victor. For everything. That's what family's for. Lisa and I drove to our honeymoon cabin in the mountains, the same mountains where I'd once planned my revenge against Tara and Brent. Now I was planning a future with someone new. Someone who chose me every day. Someone who would never smell like gasoline at 2 in the morning. As we pulled into the cabin's driveway, Lisa took my hand. Ready for the rest of our lives? I've been ready for years. Good. Because I plan on loving you for a very long time. How long? Forever, if you'll let me. I looked at her, this woman who'd chosen to love a broken man and help him heal, and made her a promise. Forever it is. We went inside and began our new life together. Outside, the mountains stood silent under a blanket of stars, keeping their own counsel about love and loss and second chances. Some things burn to ash. Some things rise from the ashes stronger than before. I'd learned the difference. The end,